Yes, and we back. Another Sunday analysis on the Australian dollar. We're gonna discuss what happened last week on for the NFP week. It was a week full of news events that shifted the market in a way that was very easy to call out where price was heading to next. A lot of good setups that we saw as far as our engulfing setup that we look for in the 1 hour. A lot of patience, of course, would have been had to assume them profits, but nonetheless, it was a great week. I don't think I really traded NFP, which I'm trying to keep consistent because non-farm payroll usually is the foundation for the rest of the month. So it's best you let the foundation be laid and then you play into that, because structure will be created throughout that week of NFP, and then you should see different levels of where you could get in on buys or sales depending on the higher time frame trend. So let's get into the charts right quick. We got the 1 hour in right now. Let's go to the daily, and nothing I see has changed. We are still in a bearish trend. We did get into some form of consolidation right here in this little price range. We are on a daily trend bearish from, man, that's crazy. My dates is up here, but I kind of like that. From April 4th. This was 2021, so December, yeah. So April 4th. And then the last bearish push that we've been experiencing is from August. This last little push down. So we did get some signs of the market wanting to turn around as far as going bullish, but it wasn't our ideal setup. We like to look for engulfings on support or resistance or supply and demand areas. And if we didn't see that, regardless if it's on an hour, 4 hour, or daily, if we didn't get that, then not to say that that's not a low, that it's not a low being created, but candles that engulfed previous candles from support or resistance tend to have a higher probability of working out. So regardless if we didn't take this trade or what have you, it's still waiting for a bigger breakout. And that's the reason why you're probably not seeing these easy trade setup ideas for the engulfing pattern. I would say one thing that was a confirmation, and I think I bought into this idea, was the fact that we did engulf this previous bearish candle that we had on the 23rd of October. That was the one bullish engulfing that we did off this swing, this recent low swing that we just created of the 14th of October. And price engulfed that, and we were targeting the high of this little swing area, this consolidation, because we felt that it was going to price back into this consolidated area, this old consolidated area of the end of September, the beginning of October that week. Now, it didn't get to the ultimate high, but it did trade into a level that would have been, you know, the probably the best take profit area you could have set for yourself. Of course, anything lower trading into a resistance level instead of picking the absolute top, kind of go 10 to 20 pips under that. That way you kind of more guaranteed to have your trade hit the hit your take profit area. So with that being said, that trade did work out. Nonetheless, I'm pretty sure on the 4 hour and a daily, which I know because I've been looking at this market, there were buy setups that you could have got yourself into lower, more in the 62.50s to 63 area versus waiting for this area of 63.84. So the only other engulfing that we do see is November 3rd's Friday for NFP. And I want to talk about NFP because NFP numbers came out that the job market is in growth mode, and jobless claims and uh, initial jobless claims all wrapped into the non-farms payroll with the increase that they experience, meaning that payrolls are going up, jobless claims are going down. So that was a bullish indicator for the dollar. And then you get on top of that, the Fed rate increasing interest rates. So everything is bullish for the dollar. So in hindsight, you would think the market should be dropping, should be selling off. So the best way for banks and hedge funds to get into a great position for that to happen, they need to create some sort of buying frenzy to where they can get other participants of the market to buy into that push higher, thinking that the market is sure to reverse higher, because we did get this swing situation. So people was like, okay, we could be pushing higher, but we really need to see a break above these highs to really be like, okay, we might be turning bullish. That never happened. We created a lower low. Then you get this big strong push on Friday. Everybody like, bet this is it. We bounced off this low. We pushed. We engulfed all these candles over. It was like 5 candles bodies. We engulfed all that. So yeah, we're going bullish. But what you're seeing right now is the market starting to turn around, and I got into sales based off the 1 hour time frame. Uh, excuse me. The 1 hour time frame bearish engulfing that I saw on Sunday. I think when the market opened. If not, that was on Friday. But we're gonna look into it. But nonetheless, what should remain true if this is a continuation of the bears, this whole daily should sell off and close below here. That's what it should do. And if it don't close, we get a nice wick cool. If we get volume to continue in New York into London and going into New York for Monday night, then we'll fill that wick if that's the scenario that's going to be created. But that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking for London to come into the market, sell off, maybe get a big retracement up to this area to further confirm buys for the people who got in from Friday. That would be a wick created, and then New York, we get a big high five, and then we sell off again. So that's a scenario I am playing into as I'm letting the market play out. And let me check real quick. We go break down the lower time frames too. Let's see. So that was a daily. Pretty much Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. That was Monday. So previous week we had some sort of reversal. So like Tuesday and Wednesday was good sell opportunities with market tapping back into those highs, but not closing. So if we look at the 4-hour, last Sunday was here on this October 31st. That was a Monday, I believe. Yeah, October 31st was a Monday. So that was all last week. This whole situation consolidated. Market tapped into all these highs and sold off. I caught that sale too. That was a sweet butter sale. Market sold off. We got an engulfing here after this retest of breaking this little minor support. We broke here. Price retested for resistance. Then we engulfed. That was a good little setup. We had an engulfing here, but I mean, targets could have been here, but I mean, ultimately, I feel like that was a failing trade, probably break even, because we would have expected it to come down here to these lows, but that never happened until later in the week. Ultimately, we did get a nice engulfing here on the 27th. I think that was Wednesday, I believe. Wednesday morning. So London selling off into Thursday. This is that initial swing that we looked at on the daily from October 14th. And as you can see, like I said, we didn't see any daily confirmations this low for buying, but on a 4-hour, we get one here. We get a nice engulfing on support. Then we get another one here, a nice engulfing situation, color change pattern. It's also a color change pattern. And then a nice big engulfing right here with a deep, deep retest that also engulfed. And then the first pullback from that also had an engulfing. So then you got another one here. So it was 5 opportunities from this push higher to let people know, like, okay, we could be turning bullish. But we never did close above these highs, these old highs of, what's that, 65.30s, 65.35, 65.30, up in that little area. Never closed above there. We didn't even get there, actually. So with that being said, all we looking for was a break above or a reversal from this support area, if you will, or resistance. And we got that. And also we got an engulfing bearish candlestick followed by 2 more. So getting in these trades were very easy for the previous week. And the push higher on NFP, there was really no engulfing signs. That was basically just all off intuition, knowing what the market could do. When news actually was released on the 4th, which was this candle here, I believe, right here, and within this candle, we did see a lot of price selling off. So this push higher probably happened on the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock uh, candle, and we'll probably take a look at that on the hourly to confirm that. Because at 7, I know it sold off. Could have been the reason that made this wick, this low wick, and then we pushed higher for the rest of Friday. And now from this same area, the same resistance area that we respected on the 27th, that respected October 6th, 5th, 4th, all the beginning of October, that respected that. We get another setup where we get a bearish engulfing candle on this bullish run from Friday from NFP. So NFP wasn't really letting us know that the market is ready to go bullish, but it was a perfect scenario to push the market higher so that banks and hedge funds could get the best opportunity price to sell off. That's how you got to break down these scenarios. Because if they really wanted to go bullish, it would have broke here. Then throughout the end of the week, towards that Wednesday and Thursday, we would have had a sell-off, and then NFP would have bounced off this newly created support, and we would have had the run we was looking for. But that never happened. We respected all these resistance levels. Now, if the bears stay in power, like I said, what I'm looking for in a daily is for that daily to be fully engulfed, and that would end at what price? Like 62.89. So let's look at that on the 4 hour. 62.89. So right here, we would need a close below this bearish candle right there, bullish candle right here. We need the bears to come in and let price sell off and get a close below this body by 5 p.m. tomorrow. So let's look at NFP on the 1 hour. And bam, right what I said. There was an 8 o'clock candle right after NFP had this indecision. It was going up, going down. Then 8 o'clock came. Like, yeah, nigga, we selling off. Even though that was not the case. But that's initially what happened. So let's see. What was the 4? Oh, because the 4 hours doing 1s, 5s, 9s. It's not going midnight, 4 a.m., 8 o'clock, so I wouldn't see that. Gotcha. But nonetheless, you see the manipulation here at 8 a.m. Nice wick down. Perfect area to grab from this order block. The prices were trying to figure out who was going to win the fight. So price likes to tap into that area. That's what they call order blocks. And as you can see, price moved away rapidly from that area. Hence the reason why it dropped all the way low just to test into that zone one more time before it continued on this bullish run. So that alone would have got a lot of sellers in. You know, granted, it was on the wrong side because they didn't wait for the candle to close, especially with news releasing. I mean, not news, it's NFP. Like, NFP is bigger than just saying it's news. Like, it is the news. The news you can use. So, if we look at the hourly, based on all of last week, which was Sunday the 30th. So we're going to start at the 30th and we'll talk about how everything panned out. So we're going to put a vertical line on the 30th. 16, 17, 16, bam. That's our Sunday. We'll talk about every scenario that's set up. I'm not 100% sure if I took all these setups, but I would have to look at my trade history to see how many of these setups I actually did take. But I'm going to go over them, and I'm going to let you know how to pick them out, and most importantly, how to be patient to actually let them set up. And how not to add too much risk to a trade, because no one knows what the trade is going to do. It's all random. But if you get a consistent pattern of trading the same setup that you see, the same edge, the same pattern that you see every day, every session, that's when you'll start to see consistency on profits. Because your profit should come based on your rules. You know, keep your stop loss at the next level of structure always, or if need be, at least 10, 20 pips. I wouldn't try to keep it too crazy, but trade in a fashion to where if you feel like it's gonna be reversing from this price, whether it be is uh is doing a retrace from a support or resistance break, or if it's just simply could be turning around from a previous high, previous low, doing a double or triple top or low. If you feel like that scenario is about to happen, then give yourself, at least a 10 pip run from that area. That way, you have 10 pips of stop loss that you can place on the market. So, for instance, if this was a low and you see the market coming down to this low and you start to see signs of reversal, shit, wait for it to come back down to that area, take a buy, and measure that area of where you want price to be at to allow a 10 pip or 15 pip stop loss. So if your stop loss, if you want your stop loss to be here at 63.74, then your entry would need to be 63.84. So 63.84 is here. So you would set a limit entry, and as you can see, market tapped in right here, and you would have got in the buys. Now, granted, if you had your take profit up here, you would have had to wait for NFP to take you out, which you would have. But nonetheless, that wasn't a move because the overall trend is bearish. So that would have been something you need to take profit as quick as possible, because no one knows what the market will do based on a news release. You can have an idea, but you still don't know. So even if you didn't attack this high, I would say this big push up was enough indication of where price was had a strong potential to go. And if you would have placed your take profit there, caught an entry from 84. This was 64.23, so 64.24. That's 20 pips. Oh, no, it's 40 pips. So it's all kind of scenarios embedded into the chart to catch a nice move. So on Sunday, we were following the trend from Thursday and Friday. This market sold off. Sunday, we saw the same continuation. From these highs, we saw a swing to a bearish swing to the downside. And we did get a nice engulfing here at 3 o'clock in the morning. Granted, that was not taken because we were asleep. But That following morning, we got a bullish engulfing at 10 a.m. that worked out perfectly. Take profit here at this next zone. Bam, you would have got, how many pips from that? 81 to, let's see, say 21. So another 40 pips right there. So as we continue to go higher, we see reversals, reversal, market breaking higher, and then we get another engulfing that following morning at 9 a.m. Stops above here. I probably wouldn't have targeted this low. I would have targeted more in this area right here. You get a nice swing, a break, and a nice little consolidated area before we get a push high. So I would have targeted this area, which that's exactly what the market dropped to, and it would have gave you over 5 different chances to get out of that sale. So if you would have entered here, 64.34 after that engulfing closed, let's see, 64.33, you would have got down 64.93, and that would have been another 40 pips. So you would have been up 80 for the week. Granted, if you didn't get shaken out of the market and get nervous. And not only that, if you would have realized that whole scenario on where the market was going to, you would have got your take profit would have hit that next hour. So that would have been 60 minutes max of a 40 pip move. So that's the power of volume, though. That's why you see these big pushes in that London to New York crossover time frame from 6 to 10. So we rejected that low, didn't break it, pushed higher a bit, started getting a consolidation. We knew NFP was coming out. This was news. I think that was interest rate news. I believe so. Speech or something that pushed the market higher. Take out all those stop losses from that week so far that people had from sales. So if you had your stop loss here and your take profit was down here, yes, the market did trade that low, but you would have got stopped out. And that's what the banks and large institutions like to do to fill their positions in, because they have larger positions to fill. So when they were selling from here, say for instance that they had to load up their trade in a chunk of threes, it would be one large position here, manipulation to add, manipulation to add. Then you get another scenario here, another push here, and then the ultimate was NFP. So from this area, we did get an engulfing at 6 a.m. The market sold off, but that probably would have hit your stop loss or break even. After market would have traded down here, you probably would have moved it to break even. So that would have been a hard trade to capture profits, because ultimately you think it was going down here. I mean, let's be real when you seeing the market in play. So I would call that as a stop out. But we got another engulfing later in the day after that news release or that speech or whatever happened on that push at 2 o'clock. And market sold off to the main low. We look at the daily. That was a low from here, from like the last 2 weeks of October, the 20th. That's what we pushed down to ultimately. So I mean, we were trying to see if we were gonna at least hit this range, right in this little consolidated area, because all this was manipulation. That little drop there because it didn't continue selling off, so that was manipulation. So this is a nice little strong zone of support, which we did held on Thursday night going into Friday morning. So that was another little scenario that you could look into to see what NFP could be doing. You know, it has a lot of potential to fill all this, especially after it broke this recent swing low right here. After it broke that, then it had even more reasoning to fill all this bearish price action that you see and this wick, which we didn't feel it completely, but it was enough to say we were exhausted for buys, enough manipulation, so we can continue in the sales. So as you catch sales going into Thursday, market sold off. We didn't get no bullish engulfings. I mean, we did get a minor one here at 2 o'clock, but nothing else until London on Friday. And only with patience, that engulfing from that order block situation right there, that engulfing was exactly where price tested to for that wick at 8 a.m. based on NFP news. So I manipulated the market lower to get people in the selling, because it took out this sort of swing, this lower low that was created. It took that out because that was a level of resistance. Took that out, and we were expecting to push higher. But a lot of people are taught that when market lows, swing lows like you see here, are taken out, it's a great opportunity to get into a sale, because now market makers have tapped into stop losses that could be sitting here. But ultimately, the best stop losses are multiple touch resistance levels, you know, on a sale scenario, and vice versa for a buy. So if you get multiple touches on a strong support, then your stop loss is stronger underneath those lows, versus within the range. Putting a stop loss has a higher chance to get hit in that mid range area. It's a higher chance to get hit. So you'll see the market tend to try to push as high as possible to get the most dominant stop losses, and also change the trend and the mind frame of retail traders to get into buys, when really they were just trying to price the market higher so they can get a better price to sell from. So we got that engulfing here, and we didn't get any more surefire setups that we like to see from a strong resistance until the ending of Friday. Uh, yeah, right there, the last candle of Friday, and then 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday, we had it engulfing to set up for sales. And as you can see, the scenario is playing out real nice. I think we got Scully on here. Let's add him on. What's up, my boy?
I was muted there. What's going on, brother?
What's up, brother? What's up?
Man, good, good. A little late. Uh,
Yeah, it's all
had
good.
had pops in the crib.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he had to pick up some stuff real quick.
that's what's up.
But
What that boy talking about? Hello.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
yeah. So no, he had to pick up something really quick, but just chopping it up. I got a few TVs I need help mounting. Um, one in my room. I'm gonna put one screen up in my room and connect that one so I can have that set up. And then I got the one in the front that's like really, really huge that I'm gonna need help with mounting
What you got
those.
that?
And
You got that 80 inch?
I don't know. I really know what size it is. It's like 70 or something. It can't be like 80 would be max, but that's the one that'll be in the front. And then in my room it'll be the same one I had in Texas. That one's like a 20, 30 or something like that. But put that in my room. But
That's what's up.
oh yeah, man,
But
other
you
than that,
just need help lifting it for the most part, huh?
just yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's mainly that big one, like I said, that 71 or whatever, just for in the
Right,
front.
right. Nah, that's what's up.
But yeah, man, how you been, bro? How you doing?
Everything been good.
Good, good, good.
Everything been good, man. Staying busy.
I love it.
Keeping a positive mind frame, so everything been good.
Nice.
So we got news I'm looking at on Monday for the Australian dollar.
Yes.
Pretty much at was 5:30, 6:30. Got that news coming out Australian dollar. Then no news until Thursday. So it's gonna be a should be a very easy week, a trend continuing week if we get that this sell off we get
True.
that we
I agree.
expecting.
Yeah, I agree. Thursday um will be another amazing Thursday. You got inflation. Is that Thursday? Yeah.
Core
So
inflation rate.
yeah, oh my gosh.
Just see it, try
So
to sneak that in there. And they
yes.
ain't put that at the top, they put it at the bottom, try to sneak that shit.
Hmm.
I think they slick.
It's all coming out at the same time.
Come on. So yeah, Thursday's gonna be a big retest day.
Mm. Yeah, I'm trying to see this bearish movement. I see we got as low as like the weekly open from last week. It touched that and it's kind of showing some rejection right here. So I'm not sure if it's going to turn around and continue that bullish movement we had towards the end of the week.
Right.
It was pretty much bearish the entire week. I'm sure you went over this. I'm
hmm
just jumping in late, but yeah, possibly seeing it continuing up towards the week of, what's that, October 20, 23rd, at the end of October, that weekly wick. See if we can possibly reach up there for this week. That's a weekly call last week. I don't know if y'all tuned in, but I said we talked about buys, bullish movement for the week. That didn't happen until Friday. So you gotta, that's what patience comes in. If people really was looking for that move, uh, some people don't even trade on Fridays, so it could have easily been, I ain't gonna say a no trade week because still got setups going both ways, but just making that overall call.
Yeah, it's always I feel like from the years we've been trading, even though it's still hard to not do so, but based on history and how history repeats itself, the NFP Friday is typically, well, NFP week is a week to either trade light or probably be more along the sides of not trading at all. And I know that's
Yes,
hard to say because that's a whole week out of a month.
but
But
that
if you,
is no. Go ahead.
now just saying, if you do see setups and you still want to stay and keep in tune with the market, take those trades. But I would say definitely decrease your risk, wholeheartedly, because that market, if any, is going to be very manipulative and very volatile in that week because it's trying to prep for Friday, and then Friday in itself is going to be volatile.
Correct. You know, that is the first um, first week of the month. So you
Right.
will want to let that first week play out just like how you let Monday and Tuesday play out. A lot of people don't trade Monday or Friday.
Mhm.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they getting it in heavy.
I mean,
So
we
that's
think
the
about it,
same.
that's the meat.
Yeah,
It's just like a sandwich.
yeah.
The beginning and the end is real soft, and but the intense, the flavor, the vibrance, the movement, that's all in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same scenario.
Yep, that is true.
But yeah, that is a good way to look at it as far as on the weekly, waiting for that candle to break the low. I mean, it broke the low, but we didn't get no close below that. Probably, I know for sure not on a daily. I don't think from the what was that previous week? Open 64.13. That's the 27th, I think, or the 30th. Yeah, 64.13. So right here.
Mm,
That's what we'd be looking to daily to close below to give us more indication that we could be selling off,
true.
and that Friday push higher for NFP was just another manipulation push. And I would believe that more if this daily engulfs that daily.
That entire move, yeah.
Yes, if we get this on Monday, going into tomorrow morning from London, going to New York, we got a lot of volume. Markets are selling off, you know, or if it's a scenario where that news for the Australian dollar comes out tomorrow evening, even though it is coming out when the new daily candle will open. So that's another thing to realize too. So we won't even see that priced into this daily candle. It'll really just be a rejection,
Yeah.
from Friday, because we don't have no news until tomorrow night for Australia dollar. So yeah, I mean, we got a nice engulfing on the 4 hour. We had a few situations on the 1 hour. So it's definitely showing some initial signs of selling off, but we want to get more harder confirmations to we can add into our position.
Yeah. I'm gonna definitely how see what it do tomorrow. Um,
Hmm.
cause yeah, the way it ended last week, that was kind of crazy. That one day, like I said, engulfed one, two, three, four. It engulfed the week. all that selling, and then Friday said, "All right, I got it," and
Yeah.
so
Talking about that NFP Friday,
yeah,
engulfing the whole week. Yeah.
yes,
Mm.
you know.
And shit, on the cool, not only did it engulf that week, but it engulfed last week too. Damn near. Damn near. It didn't fully engulf it, but majority of the price action it did.
You mean the like as far as like the weekly candle?
Well, that's why I said not the full week. It was I'm just looking at this daily push on Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah, it engulfed that week, those bearish candles.
yeah.
But if you include all this high plus where it started from right over here this week, that candle kind of engulfed this whole zone, if you will. I mean, it didn't
Oh
go as
yeah, I
high
mean
as this, but it still engulfed all the price action, all the decisions that was made from going all the way up here and all the way down here. Like this one candle said, "Give me all that."
right.
Yeah,
I mean, and you can look at the on the weekly chart and just seeing how that was um, it was a bullish week. It engulfed the
yeah,
previous week.
yeah,
Um, Rejected that area of like let's say 6270. It wicked down there and rejected it hard. Now, yeah, granted that was news, but still, sometimes NFP will, which it did. It'll shoot both ways. It sold off, and then for the rest of the day, it just was bullish. So it's like that kind of gave me more confirmation as far as like this rally. I'm not gonna call it like a major because overall we are still, I repeat, we are still
yeah.
tapping into those COVID lows. Like we are going to pass it up if you ask me going into next year. But
Because you can't call the market bullish. You can't even start to call it bullish until it closes above 65
and even
thirties.
then,
That's why I said you can't start
yeah,
to say, oh, we might be turning around because nah, nigga, you got April to really pass up to
yeah.
really say you
And it's
truly
and it's like
bullish.
just look at the conditions, that we are still in. Like we are still
Mhm.
raising rates and stuff like
Strong
that. So
dollar,
like, yeah, man, like you have to know what's
but we
going
kind of
on. You can't just, I mean, don't get me wrong, these technicals will get you there, but these are um different times,
yeah,
this whole
and
COVID and all this stuff.
that's why I call NFP a manipulation buy
Mm, I see. Yeah.
because I felt like interest rates are rising, the dollar is stronger, so market as far as we see it should be selling off because the dollar is more stronger than Australian dollar, so
Right, right.
we should be selling off. So that push higher was to allow the institutional funds and banks to get in at a better price to sell off. Now,
Hmm.
granted, we may not see that sell off right now. It may do some more manipulation and shit, but I feel like that's the situation because if it wanted to go higher, it could have easily done it here on this push higher. Like it could have swung low, tapped into this area right here, support, and pushed higher. And then another reason it could have pushed higher right here, like
Right
it
there.
tried
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
but that was a manipulation grab just to sell off even more. But if it wanted to, that was the bullish move right there. But it should have easily engulfed these two, like probably engulfed this for sure, but for sure it should have pushed higher, and then it should have kept going. Not all these little bitty bullish candles, trying, inching its way up. Like, nah, because then what you get an engulfing candle, engulfing all that shit
Hmm.
to let you know as what's really the move, what's the play. So yeah, that's what I see. But you know, the market don't care what we see
Facts.
at the end of the day.
That is true.
It's gonna do what it's gonna do.
You have to take what it gives you.
Yes. But yeah, overall, what you see with this light news week? You more prone to, you want to see what the beginning of the week kind of plays out
E-
before you can call it.
yes, we are
Mm,
still, we this is the we're in the beginning of this month, man. Last week
mm,
don't count, because that was it was a crossover. We was in the end of October going into that
October.
first, yeah. So it it counts. You're gonna get some movement and it's showing you some price action, but overall, um, we are still consolidating. If you look on the daily, we are moving left to right. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
so probably waiting for a breakout. Above 65, uh, 65.15, 65.20. For
Yep.
some bullish movement.
Yep.
But yeah, overall, like I said, we still selling strong. This is a bearish situation that we are in. So all markets have been red. So you can't, you know,
Mm.
you go get some.
Besides the yen,
Yeah, I was about to say you're gonna get
it's the
some
only one.
some rallies and
Gold.
yeah, and gold. But yeah, I'm gonna let it play out. Like see what it does tomorrow, and like I said, man, make them plays every day. Like even I'm still my opportunities are probably gonna be uh if I look for anything, it'll be buys. Going off of what happened last week, just looking at that daily candle, I you know, I'll be looking for buys. I'm seeing a lot of little slight light rejection. This is nothing that I'm, zone in on or anything like that. But if this was like a Tuesday or Wednesday in the morning, yeah, this will probably be a nice. The next bullish engulfing on this 1 hour, I will probably get in a buy. Looking
Got you.
from the daily, but not doing this right now. We're just talking about, um, you
And it
know,
would be a nice situation on the 1 hour to catch that bullish engulfing from maybe 63.72 or maybe even as low as 62.80.
yes,
If it
because
came all the way down here, it gave you a nice bullish engulfing and push higher.
yes,
That would be a nice scenario.
yes. That's
Or
why
even,
you want
like I
those,
said, from here.
because you don't want to get in it too early. That's why I say every time I do get in on that, if I think it is the signal, because I'm getting in every time I see that. So I'll get in light and then I'll let it play out. If it's right, then you're gonna have an opportunity to get in again and still get heavy gains. But if it goes against you, you'll be okay. Managing, your risk, you'll be okay. Um, Setting up for a better entry. So don't act like you're gonna miss anything. That's why I say get in those tests, and that way you're not really missing anything. You gotta you got your foot in the game per se. But uh I like look for those double bottom type scenarios. Right now, I wouldn't count it as a double bottom, but like you said, if you reach to these lows of, like, let's say if you get all the way down to like 63 flat, and you get a rejection and something right there, then you can have a, type double bottom scenario, and then that's when it's like, okay, I can shoot up and eat up all that price action, you know,
Mm-hmm.
back to where we are, or where we at right now. So those are type of trades that that I look for, and might get a couple, out the week, but that's okay, man, because those couples be
Man,
they
come
put
on,
they heavy. That's
come
all I
on.
can say. I don't like to say, oh, 100 pills or 50, 50 pills. Like, I don't care about that. It's nice
Right.
gains, nice gains.
No, that's true. Yeah, we're gonna see. Uh, Overall, I'm gonna keep an eye on the weekly too, because I like what you had pointed out as far as the market closing below the previous week's open.
Hmm.
So monitoring that how it plays out on the daily. If we get a close below that price on the daily,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have
if
a wick
not,
to fill both ways. So
yeah, if then that buy scenario could be setting up also, and that'll be something to look for in the 1 hour.
true.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, with that being said, we're gonna monitor that and keep up to date with everything in the chat.
You already know.
And we go wrap this up and be back next Sunday,
Yes, sir.
8 to 9 p.m.
I know what it is.
All right, my boy.
All right, man.
I'm gonna holler at
All right, brother. Peace, everybody. Love.
you. Peace.